No.
What's goody? Yeah. No, you might live in isolation on an island.
Possibly.
Yeah. If you get the job, then maybe. Yeah, and then your sister leaves and you just have
no one.
Yeah. Just whoever.
I'd bring my dog, but that would also be if the place that I'm at lets you,
and then it's another responsibility. You have to take care of yourself.
Well, I also thought before yesterday that I really wanted babies, and then after having my blood work done, I'm a little bit thinking things differently.
Just because of blood work? You could do it the old school way. You just lay in a bathtub.
Yeah.
And then somebody.
But you still have to have the IV, no?
No.
Oh, because you're
do a natural birth. Yeah, natural birth.
I know, and like the epidural.
Ooh, but you need that.
Exactly. I'm just terrified of needles. Like, I was sitting there and she's like, does it hurt? And I'm like, no. And, getting my blood work done and just crying because I'm so scared. I'm just terrified. Like, I have tattoos. I have one on my ribs and like.
Yeah, what the fuck is it's different for you with this needle going in and out?
Yeah, something about it. Something about when the needle is in me and it's just like sitting there. It's another kind of vulnerability that it just. Ugh. So yeah, I'm like getting lightheaded, dizzy. Like I feel like I'm gonna pass out. Like my whole body is just tingling just because I'm having a goddamn panic attack because I have a severe phobia. I guess not even of needles because I can get tattoos, of getting my blood drawn. And so she was like poking me once, and then she said, never, not once in 10 years has she had to poke someone more than twice. So I was the first in 10 years where she's poked me twice and she couldn't get anything. And I was really not surprised because that's genuinely just the kind of luck I have. So I was like, I'm not even a little bit surprised, probably less surprised than you are.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I felt like, so I was just panicking. Like when the needle hit me, I went into shock. My hands went cold. They went tingly. So like there was no blood pumping anywhere. So I don't know how the fuck I'm ever supposed to get blood work done, ever have a baby. And if he barely got like enough blood, if that wasn't enough blood, my next option would be an at-home. Like they come to my house and do it.
Damn.
It's just bad.
I just got blood work done.
It's so scary. And
it was nothing. It was like they poked a hole into my arm and stuff, and then I like looked away. They poked it in, little bit of pain, and then they just kept filling the canister up. It was like and then they took.
Yeah, I can't look at it. I can't look. Oh no, it's genuinely like that was traumatizing. What I went through yesterday and today, that was traumatizing. I'm already clearly traumatized for some reason.
Yeah, goddamn.
But that was, I can't do it. When it was in my hand, they poked me twice in my hand. Well, once like on the top and then twice in my wrist.
I was wondering why you're coming in with all these bandages all over yourself.
Yeah, they didn't even give me a Band-Aid for the one on my arm, and they bruised the shit out of me.
They poke holes all over you.
Yeah, digging in there. Yeah, one here and then two. Didn't work, and then this is the one that finally works on the top. But this, I didn't even feel it at all. So I kept telling him, I'm like, no, it doesn't hurt. But I'm like hyperventilating, just like freaking the fuck out. Like I can't do it. That's something I need to process in therapy for sure. Figure out where the hell that comes from. I have a few ideas.
Yeah, I'm sure you do.
But yeah, it's disgusting.
Oh my God.
I had a kid vomit in class today. I would rather deal with that kind of shit than blood and needles.
Ugh, what the fuck? I'm like, I feel it. I feel it from you because I don't even care about that shit.
It's something.
I couldn't like work in a hospital where someone comes in with like gunshot wounds or someone that was like stabbed like
that is not,
17.
Yeah.
And then they come in and they're just halfway dead on a bed. Like I couldn't do that.
No.
But I could sit in an office.
No.
On like a comfy chair and have somebody poke me.
Yeah, I know like people who are going into nursing and in school and like they just practice on people, like poking people and friends that I know. And it's just like nothing. But like, no, it's traumatic. It's traumatic.
So you gotta do a natural birth then. That's a fucking issue.
I know. I'm rethinking everything right now. Like I wanted to go to Hawaii so I could find a husband, have a family. And now I'm like, shit, I don't even know if I want to birth my own kids. Fuck.
Birth
after
your
that,
own kids.
Yeah, after that. And he had like the tiniest needle ever because the lady before had told him about me. So I got there and I'm like, well, you've heard about me already. I brought my comfort object this time, so not any easier. Not any easier at all.
Oh my God, yeah.
So that's, I had to be late to work this morning, and so I just scattered. Things been crazy.
Hopefully it all comes back good. Yeah, blood work, STD check.
I mean, yeah. I'm not super, I don't know. I get fevers once a month. So there's some kind of infection going on, whether it's like autoimmune within whatever, or if it's actually my wisdom teeth. So I'm hoping to actually get answers.
Yeah.
To that.
Definitely. Yeah, that would fucking suck. I got COVID. That shit was like, oh my fucking God.
Yeah, how was that?
Oh my God.
How was that experience?
The first 2 days I was bedridden, basically pins and needles all over all of my whole body.
Yeah.
It was weird because it would give me pins and needles where like my shoulder, I have a bad shoulder, or like a knee that I fucked up skateboarding, and like an ankle that I had surgery on. Like,
yeah,
it chose where in my body to give me these pins and needles in like places that I've already hurt before.
It's fucked up.
And it was like I would feel a headache, and then the next day it's stomach and fever, and like the sickness would switch into a different one.
Weird.
Yeah.
Mutating.
Yeah, it was like mutating in real time, like the next day.
That's
it was
crazy.
A different sickness.
Man.
And then I lost my taste for a day. I went to eat a banana, and then it was just like the texture.
Ugh.
Like it was just like the kind of soft, mushy like it was just mush, and I was like, what the fuck is going on? Like I can't taste this fucking banana.
So weird.
That's so bad.
I had COVID, but I never like lost my taste.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was still able tasting. That's crazy.
Yeah, it was fucked
up. Oh, that sucks.
And it lasted like 10 days. I'm never sick for that long.
That sucks.
It was like almost 2 weeks.
I didn't know people were still getting sick with that as much.
I never got COVID.
That's wild.
That's like
I got it.
Almost 3 years. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you didn't like it very much, did you?
No, yeah, I was in a lot of pain. My hips, I couldn't sleep. I had to get a mattress topper because my bed was too hard. I guess my body, like the same thing, is just so achy. It hurt so bad, and so I'd wake up in the middle of the night and my hips would like ache and just hurt, and then I would switch, and then that side would hurt. I mean, that happens to me normally, like on a long plane ride or car ride. When I'm sitting on one side for a long time, it starts to hurt. But it was just like doing that no matter how I moved. I could not get comfortable. And so I had to buy a whole mattress topper when I got sick. It worked.
That's good. I mean, I couldn't sleep either. It was like I had to take pills to sleep, and then eventually like, oh, my sleep came back. It was weird.
Yeah.
It was like all of a sudden like, oh, I could sleep again now.
That's so weird.
I never had that feeling, or that's never happened in any other. The COVID was like some weird ass shit.
Yeah, that's weird.
It was not like anything that I've ever had before.
Crazy. Yeah, the only thing I could kind of compare it to would be when I had mono, but mono was worse than at least how I was impacted by whatever COVID strain I got.
Yeah, and I've been sicker than I was with COVID, which is pretty crazy because
that sounds miserable.
Because they destroyed the economy over it, right? Which was
I know,
a little bit weird.
I felt worse when I had mono.
Right, exactly. I got
when I was 9.
I had this sickness when I was living in LA, and that shit was like I was like fucking laying in the bathtub, like staring at the roof, like Either fucking kill me all the way or make me better. Like, choose one.
That's how mono felt for me.
You just want to die.
Yeah. I like cried myself to sleep. I woke up in the middle of the night. I'm like, fuck. And then I just cried. I literally just cried because I felt so horrible. That's shitty.
Damn.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is really shitty. But yeah, it was bad. It was long. And the first 2 days was bad. The rest of it was pretty tolerable. But yeah, I mean, they fucking printed out trillions of dollars and destroyed the fucking buying power of the dollar.
Yeah.
And destroyed society for poor people, especially because we're the ones that have to, like, those 10, 15, 40, 50% increases and stuff is affecting us. The milk doesn't affect the fucking millionaire.
Exactly.
Or the billionaire. The gas going up 40 cents does not affect the millionaire.
Yeah.
It affects us.
Yeah. Making 15 a fucking hour.
You say that.
It's garbage, man.
It's completely fucked.
It's bad. Fuck my bosses though. They should be paying me more. They're one of the fucking millionaires, and they're like, there you go.
The school district?
My bosses, they're a charter school, so it's private.
Oh,
they get everything.
They got bread.
They're just bathing in it.
They got a lot of fucking money.
And they're like paying me this much an hour.
Yeah,
I'm just giving my time to them. Yeah.
Bread, like crumbs.
So fucked. So that's why I've been applying to other jobs. I got a call back from one in Gilbert that will have me doing the same exact thing, 17 an hour. They'll match me, so.
Okay.
Yeah.
17 to...
That's still pretty shitty, but...
That sucks. Oh, it's so fucked that 17 is shitty, because 17 used to not be shitty. 17 used to be reasonable. Like, you could have...
That'd be great.
The things that you need.
Yeah, my sister in high school was making $7
yes.
an hour. Yeah.
Yeah, and now you're like 17. It's like $2 more per hour, which comes out to what?
A teeny
40,
bit more.
80,
Still not enough to
80
make a car payment.
160. You will have $320 more at the end of the month.
That's pretty good. That's worth it.
Is it?
Yeah,
You like that?
that is worth it. Quick math.
Yeah.
That would help for sure.
Before taxes.
Yeah. Fuck. Well, then I'm probably making nothing.
So it's like 280 or 270 or something.
Not as worth it.
Yeah, but that covers cell phone bill, get some gas or food.
Trash. It's just trash, man. Like, yeah, I don't know what the fuck to do. And what I want to go to school for is going to take me like 6 years.
Ooh.
So I'm 2 years behind.
Yeah.
I'll be 26 by the time I even start like interning for what I actually want to be doing. So
Therapy?
I think I want to be like a professor, like child psychology or something like that. Because I can't decide between psychology or elementary ed. But I think being a teacher would be really cool. But if it was something I'm passionate about and it could be a little bit more like one-on-one and more of an impact on people, I might like to do that. So, yeah, I've thought about being like a professor. Yeah, I don't know. I haven't decided.
That's good. Are you and then your sister same? It's interesting that women like to end up working jobs where they're dealing with people and working with people.
Yeah, both of my sisters did elementary education.
Mm-hmm. And then men want to just work with stuff.
Yeah.
For the most part.
Hands-on.
Hands-on.
Yeah, that's facts. I don't know.
Yeah.
I like what I do. Sitting there, interacting with the kids. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And where does like the regression therapy?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's a private practice, and I just have not put anything into that, really. I mean, I read books. I do a lot of studying with that kind of thing. But as far as taking clients and working with people in that way, I haven't Hardly at all. I haven't marketed myself or put myself out there really. So, yeah.
That's like a kind of rapper. Like you're trying to be a rapper, you gotta be telling people all the time that you're making these songs.
That I'm doing
on
it.
Instagram,
Yeah.
showing people that you're making the songs.
Exactly.
It's like a PR thing.
Yeah.
Like constant promotion.
Yeah, until you like get to where you actually do have consistent clientele and word of mouth and everything. But starting off, I just, haven't had the energy, effort, or time to put a lot into it. But that is definitely good money there.
Oh, yeah.
So.
Great money.
Yeah.
And, I mean, you still have to pay taxes on it, I suppose.
Yeah.
Yeah, you report it. You have to report it. But that would be a cool thing. That would be something kind of right up your alley.
Yeah.
You can work directly with people and deal with, healing them.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's what I think about. Like, if I were to teach like a child psychology class, it would be my way. So
I don't know if that's what you do.
Exactly. Yeah, I would, because psychology is very much just technical terms of everything, book terms. It really kind of means nothing, though, at the end of the day.
What do you mean?
Like, you get a diagnosis for borderline personality disorder. Psychologist and a psychiatrist will tell you you can't cure it, heal it, nothing. You're stuck that way. So let's figure out ways to cope. And then you'll go to therapy every week to learn how to manage your stressors and your emotions and how to cope with it, mask it, be functional, rather than being taught that borderline personality disorder is a collection of trauma responses and habits that you've developed over time. No one is just born with like a strong sense of like emptiness. No one's just born with like self-hatred and self-emptiness, loneliness, just like a debilitating sense of loneliness. No one's just born with that. And psychology tells you that you are.
That happens to you, you would say. You can't. How could that
becoming
be?
lonely and all that
borderline and
garbage?
That stuff comes with the world that you're in?
Yeah.
Mostly?
Yeah, trauma responses. Because, some symptoms, a sense of emptiness and loneliness. You're not born with that. That comes from abandonment. Another symptom, huge fear of abandonment. Obviously, that doesn't just, you're not just born with that. If you were raised in a secure, healthy house with a mom and a dad, you're not going to be afraid of something that's not there.
That's something that's happening to people.
Exactly. Well, yeah.
Yeah. And then you to talk to a therapist because there's no actual cure for it. Then they just kind of walk you through how to live with the things that happened to you that made you fucked up.
They don't really even address that it's your past.
It's definitely way more like you're born with it. Like that's
their
shit.
Genetics. They say it's genetics and you're born this way and the chemicals in your brain are imbalanced.
Right.
That's what they preach. That's true to a certain extent because a traumatized brain is going to look chemically different than a normal brain. But the thing is that the chemicals in your brain change as you process trauma. So you're not born with a chemical dysfunction or whatever. It's some shit happened. You're seriously lacking some fucking dopamine right now. And then they'll put you on a medication for it rather than going in figuring out where did this come from?
Right, because if they decided to view it in the way that, oh, these are fucked up things that happened to this person in the circumstances that they were raised in, then that leads to
a cure
or a different set of questions.
Yeah.
Which they aren't equipped to answer.
Right. Yeah.
It's like,
exactly.
Yeah, my father was an alcoholic. He was a workaholic, then alcoholic workaholic. He wasn't really around. Mom was stretching her time thin between 6 people, 5 people, and you only get so much out of that.
Mm-hmm.
You only get 1/4 or 1/5 of your mom and then no father.
Yeah.
So, I mean, this accumulates.
Even just, that is going to result in a feeling of emptiness. I read that adult children of immature parents, some shit like that, I don't remember, emotionally immature parents. So when your parents are emotionally immature or unavailable, like you said, you're gonna never feel fulfilled. You're always gonna have that sense of like emptiness, loneliness, like broken, because it's your childhood. And so it just doesn't make any sense if you're born that way, then why has no one with borderline, whatever, been raised in a perfect, happy, healthy home, a secure attachment in childhood? No one with borderline personality disorder has a secure attachment in their childhood.
Right.
Yes.
So why wouldn't that be addressed, really? I mean, is it?
So when I took psychology, Psych 1 in high school, we learned about personality disorders. One of the big ones, it's like one of the most rare next to schizophrenia, it's DID, which is dissociative identity disorder, which is where you split personalities. And they teach you, and it's foundation knowledge, that disorder comes from trauma. That one they have recognized. You have to have had something happen to you.
Very traumatic.
Yes. And that's what makes you split, because that shit doesn't just happen. And so I don't understand why they don't put that same logic with narcissists, borderlines, bipolar, like anything. They just label personality disorders as incurable. And I've actually even been advised to not work with people who have personality disorders. But I'm like, that's me.
You have one.
Yeah.
Or
That's
4 or whatever.
or however many. Yeah, who fucking knows?
Whatever they say.
Yeah, and I know where all my shit came from. It's like I was not just born with irregulated mood patterns and these heightened sense of whatever and all these sensitivities I have to things. Like, to a certain extent, you do have genetics play a role. But when it comes to like, oh yeah, I have a huge fear of abandonment and I was just born that way.
What?
Exactly. And so that's how I feel. That's how I see psychology.
Dissociative personality disorder. It's fucking insane to me that the logic for that isn't used anywhere else.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, this person's splitting because of this horrific shit that happened to them as children. But that's the only one.
Yeah.
The rest of them, you're just fucked. You're just born fucked, or you're not born.
Yeah, the only cure to DID is trauma work. They say like hypnosis or, but ultimately it's fixing the trauma that happened that made you split.
Imagine that.
Yeah. And so I'm like,
well, how about that with
okay,
everything?
so how about borderline? How about instead of putting me on antipsychotics, like how about figure out where my fear of abandonment came from? Like the fuck? Putting me on a medication for, and that's not the only symptom, but putting me on a medication for
being abandoned as a child.
Fear of abandonment, instead of having me deal with being abandoned as a child.
Right. Like
seems
getting
weird.
to the root of it.
Yeah.
and being like, okay, so this happened to you. Like, what do we do about it?
Yeah.
How did it make you feel? And
instead it's, oh, you can't be fixed, but we can get you a job and shit, make you functional enough to sustain a job and whatnot, so that you can, you know, give something back to us, because fuck you need to pay your taxes.
You need to pay for these pills and shit and these appointments.
Exactly. How are you going to pay for these appointments, these $100 sessions?
If you're not functional enough to get the money, you got to be functional enough to get the money to give to us.
Yeah.
So we can... God, that shit has always been the coldest shit.
No sense.
That's always been the shit that fucks me up the most about therapy.
Psychiatry, even more of a fucking joke.
How?
10 years of med school to sit there and talk with me for 20 minutes for me to tell you I want this medication. Okay. The fuck?
10 years?
They have to go to med school.
And how many large textbooks and labels did they have to memorize? And then you just show up there like, hey, I'm going through a breakup. I'm pretty sad.
They don't memorize anything. I'm going to tell you right now. She has a book on her thing so that when I tell her what I'm experiencing, she can look up a medication for me. She doesn't even know it. She has them right there.
So it's not the DSM that she's referring to. She probably has the DSM memorized.
I was getting both. Well,
that's both.
Yeah, I was going to say both. She's probably got more of the DSM. Yeah.
Right.
But as far as the medications, nothing.
She goes through this huge book.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay.
She just looked through the book. She's like, oh, we could try this. And then that one doesn't work. Okay, so we tried this. How about we try this?
Just going down a list?
Yeah.
Ooh.
That's my point.
Ooh. That's not good.
That's why I think it's a joke.
I mean, that's reasonable conclusion.
Yeah. That's why I feel that way, because I've been in too many appointments with crazy women. Like, there's men psychiatrists. I had one, but he wasn't crazy. He was actually pretty helpful for me. But these women are just like crazy. They're not helpful. I go and I'm like, hey, I need Adderall. And they're like, how much? That's it.
You tell them the dosage.
Yeah. Yeah.
You tell them the drug and the dosage.
It's ridiculous. They don't know anything about me. They don't know anything about my life, anything about my brain chemistry. Their knowledge and school has been no use.
And just left and right.
Completely useless.
Yeah. Oh, you're this, so you eat these.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, okay, so you're this disease, so you eat these drugs.
Yeah, literally. That's the job. And then they write their name on the paper so that I can legally get it. And that's what they're paid for. What a job.
It can't be. Like, that can't be what it is.
It is, though. It is. I talked to my mom about it today. I was like, don't even get me started on psychiatry. And she's like, yeah, I know. I'm like, I just go in and get whatever the fuck I want. She's like, yeah, I know. like there's just, it's a joke. That's why I feel the way that I do.
Yeah. And the brain scan shit, it's like, word, but they don't do that.
Word. No.
They don't have pictures of people's brains. They're just sitting there like, there isn't.
They just write the shit out. That's it. Barely legible, too.
It's like just drug dealers.
Yeah. Yeah.
And they go to school, college for 10 fucking years.
Yeah, I thought about doing it because you get paid a fuck ton for doing a whole lot of nothing. But apparently there's a lot more that goes into it. And I wasn't about the medical school, so.
Yeah, medical school is insane. And then
that's
just
whole thing.
Sit there and after like 10 years, 15 years, say, sitting in this same office, looking at the same walls, and you got your little diplomas behind you on the wall, and you're just, thumbing through these books, seeing what drugs to have children eat and adults and
millions.
And that's your whole day, most of the week, most of the month, most of the year. It's like, I can't. How do people do it?
Yeah. And my psychiatrist is like never in her office. They're never there. Like half the week. Our hours are this. Also, this month we're out this day, this day, this day. Let's like 10 days.
They get paid so much money.
Yeah, they just
it's like
gone.
They just go
They're
on
just
holiday
gone. Whenever the fuck they want.
Yeah.
They're just never there.
Which is the appeal, right? Of when you're looking at it. You're in the position or where you are at in life is like, okay, what do I do with it?
Yeah.
In a way that doesn't take my soul but pays me enough money that aligns with something I would want to do,
kind of
more
like
or less.
to do.
Yeah, I would kind of like to do it.
Yeah.
And that just doesn't, at a certain point,
yeah,
money's only means so much. And we've had this conversation. It's like, once you have the stuff and you have the space, and then you have like, oh, I have this space. It's like 11. I'd like to have more of the space so I could have more of the stuff to put in it.
Right.
Right. And then you get to a certain point where you have more than one car and you can't drive more than one car at once. And you have this extra space and you filled it up with this shit. And then it's like, there's more to life.
Exactly. It sucks because I do have a fear of abandonment and a just longing sense of loneliness. But I do believe and think and feel that I have all these dreams, all these goals, that I could be so successful, reach all my goals, do everything I could ever want, make all the money in the world, do anything I could ever want. It would all mean nothing to me if I didn't have someone to share it with.
Yeah.
If I was traveling, I want to go to all the Pacific Islands and do hella traveling and make hella money. If I'm alone, what is the point? Literally, what is the point?
It's true. And I was watching this podcast, and this guy, and he was asked like, oh, if you had to live anywhere for your whole life, you couldn't live anywhere else, where would you go? And he's like, I don't give a fuck long as I'm with my boys.
My boys.
That's it.
It's true,
it could be fucking ass fuck Kansas.
Home becomes a person or people rather than a place.
Right.
Yeah.
Pablo, come here. Come here, Pablo.
That's your home.
Go. Yeah, that's my home.
You're
Get
his
the fuck
home.
out of here.
You're his everything.
I am his everything.
He's just a little part in your life,
he's
just something you
little...
come home to. You're all he has. That's it. You're it.
That's terrible. Oh, that's awful.
You're it.
Yeah. And then eventually, the people is number one, I guess. You got survival, and then, shelter.
Yeah.
Food, shelter. Once you have those things, it's people and like family and friends is everything. Everything.
Yeah.
And then if you don't have that, there's no reason to fucking live. Like, we need that shit so fucking bad. Like, we are pack animals.
Yeah. In the same book, it was like, as a kid, you can do carefree play. You can just have a good ass time and not even worry about what your purpose is or what good you're doing to the world. Like, you're a kid, but you get to a certain point in your life where you need to be needed. Otherwise, you might as well just you're going to get suicidal. Yeah. Been there, done that. You feel pretty useless. And if you're in no one's life, I mean, you see homeless people who just have no family, no one they can go to. And that's shitty. And I'd rather be dirt poor than completely alone. I think.
Careful.
Careful.
Hey. Hey.
Not on the streets poor, maybe.
Like,
but
you have shelter and food, but you
yeah,
just can't take a vacation.
maybe have to skip dinner every once in a while. That's okay.
Public transportation.
Yeah, that's okay.
Yeah.
If I have siblings are so fun, especially when you're little. They're everything. They're your best friends.
Right.
Well, for me, some. But that's a big family.
Not all of them.
Not all of them.
Not all of them.
It's a big family. But yeah, if you're not needed, if you're not doing something, yeah, you're very useless. And I've been thinking about that a lot. You know, when you come of age and you become an adult and you start looking at moving out and stuff, and you imagine yourself sitting alone. Well, you live here and just having dinner, doing your own thing or whatever. And I think about it all the time, and I'm just like, what is the point to anything? I might as well just die. There's no point if I'm not doing something.
Yeah. I need an objective.
Yeah.
I need to fucking be on a mission. There needs to be things that are going to be attained. There needs to be fucking X amount of dollars at the end of the week. There needs to be this and that has to happen. And I'm constantly chasing that.
Yeah.
And if I don't have that, I'm fucking dead. Like,
then there's no point.
There's nothing.
There's nothing.
Like what? And that's what happens that people, when they retire, there's this phenomenon that occurs where they just die.
I've had that thought too. I'm like, because I'm a little bit of a workaholic. I mean, if I am scared to not have a job. I would genuinely hate to not have a job, because when I do have breaks from work, you know, we have Thanksgiving break coming up and we just had fall break. I'm gone. I'm in Hawaii. I'm on a flight to the island because I cannot sit and do nothing and not work. I go crazy. I'm like, I don't know what to do with myself. I feel completely useless. And I hate myself, so I don't want to spend time with myself.
That's terrible.
I don't want to spend time one-on-one with me, so let's get the fuck out of here.
Doing no one-on-ones with yourself.
Exactly.
There needs to be some shit going on.
Yeah, and that sucks, but that's what it is. That's why people become workaholics, addicts to anything, because you're empty inside.
You have to be able to sit with yourself, too, which is part of it, but, like, I can't.
Yeah, me neither.
That's not going to fucking happen.
Yeah.
Like,
you know, you spend most of your time, most of your life alone, and yet most of us can't even stand to be by ourselves or can't even stand ourselves.
It needs to be something busy. You need to be fucking doing something. You're going somewhere and getting something. But, yeah, the person that you got to be able to deal with the most in this life is you, is yourself.
Exactly. Yeah.
And if you can't do that, it's a fucking issue.
Yeah, it is an issue. And that'll be made apparent when you get sad.
Yeah, it'll peek its dirty little, or how do they, it'll rear its head.
Yeah.
Right? That's what they say?
I don't fucking know.
Yeah.
I'm an idiot. I'm retarded. Oh, shit.
Oh, no, you can't say that. That's a bad word.
No, you can't say
you
that.
Can't say, no.
I sincerely apologize.
Yeah, to the retards. I'm sorry. We are sorry, retards. We didn't mean it.
Didn't mean it. Man, yeah, when did that become a thing?
I don't know. They're just taking them one by one.
Yeah.
Words are going just like, this month it's something. Last month it was retard. They just take them, just plucking them out of the language.
Anything, yeah.
Yeah. Or I guess Jews.
Jews.
Maybe you can't say. Can you
there
say
you
Jews?
Go. I don't know. I don't
don't either. Can I say Jews right now?
Can I say? Is it allowed?
Are we
politically correct?
Yeah, exactly.
Fuck that.
I don't know who decides these things.
Yeah.
There needs to be more of an organized.
I mean, the world. Nobody bought the world, but yeah, we all have to pay to live here. We're all paying someone to be here.
That's deep.
But like, no one. It doesn't belong to anyone. Like, this shit is free. The earth is just here. It doesn't belong
Yeah.
to the government.
Yeah, we're just playing this
But yet
weird
we
game.
have to play. It is a game.
It's just a stupid fucking Monopoly game that we play.
Where you claim property that's yours, yeah, and then you're like, it's mine. You pay me if you want it. Yeah, it is Monopoly.
It'll be here much, much longer than you are going to be here.
And when you go on a plane, it's like, and you just see all the emptiness. I just don't understand how everything's so expensive. I mean, I could just go out in the middle of nowhere and build a house.
Exactly.
There's so much space.
We're so scared
of space running out. But if you've ever been in an airplane, there's so much space.
It's all empty space.
It's all empty.
Yeah. There's little fucking pockets.
Tiny patches
of gridded out concrete.
Of little people.
Yeah.
And communities in there, kind of. Broken communities, yeah. I mean, call it a community. They're just people. It's just people. Living in the same space.
Yeah, it's insane, the game that we play. I was fucking sick and like just bedridden. I could fucking barely move. And I had like a little pile of like 1s and 5s on the floor. And I was like sitting there like fucking sick, just staring at this money. And it was just like, it's like a dead white person on this piece of paper, and I need it. I need it really bad for everything. And I don't know. It doesn't make any fucking sense.
It's true because
it's like dead people on these fucking pieces.
Yesterday I had a $20 bill and I was with a guy and I was gonna pay for our drinks, and I like handed him the $20 bill and he like flicked it away from me, and I'm like, this shit is just a piece of paper with a dead guy. And like, but it's everything.
Everything.
It's my life, my well-being.
It's whether or not you can have a family.
Yeah.
It's whether or not you can have your own space. Yeah, your own privacy. It's whether or not you're going to eat good or bad or nothing. It's
a piece of paper. Do you know how many papers I file a day? Papers mean nothing. I get paper cuts.
You get paper cuts.
Yeah. And so just this tiny little piece of paper.
Yeah. It's a ticket to life.
Yeah.
It's your little tickets. So you carry around these little bundle of tickets, and they get you the stuff, and it's like, it's the weirdest thing, because you take $100 bill and you buy something with it that costs $20. You get handed 4 $20 bills. You now have more pieces of paper than you had, but less money.
Yeah.
Because the numbers on the pieces of paper.
Yeah.
So you had 1, now you have 4, but it's 20% less.
Yeah.
And then you go and take that 20 and you go buy something that's $5, and they give you three fives back. So now you have the 3 20s and the 3 5s, and now you have way more pieces of paper.
But it's less.
But less money.
Yeah.
So it's like, it's so fucking stupid.
Yeah, it's like the what gets bigger the more you take out of it. A whole. That's the same energy it gives me.
Yeah.
It just becomes more, but is worth less.
You're just digging.
Yeah.
It's a bigger hole. Like, you got more.
Yeah.
Hole.
Yeah.
There's more hole here.
But there's less.
Yeah.
To use. I used to think when I was little that the bigger coins were worth more, and a quarter, is worth more, but a nickel is bigger than a dime.
Yeah, bigger than a dime.
Yeah, so I thought it was worth more than a dime.
But a dime is worth more.
Yeah. It's tinier. It's less material, but it's worth more.
Less material, different metal?
I don't know.
I feel like it's the same metal.
I don't know. I would think coin material.
Yeah, coin material.
Coin. I don't know.
You got a dime. It's smaller than the nickel, but worth double. And then the quarter, which is way bigger than the dime. But it's stupid.
And in reality, all the coins are worth absolutely nothing, because the value of $1 is decreasing to
$1 is now
nothing.
coin. The dollar is the coin now. And
yeah, it's true.
And coins used to buy you things.
Yeah.
Believe it or not. In the 50s, 40s and shit.
Can't buy anything with coins.
You could go somewhere with some coins and buy stuff.
And now if you do that, you're going to be looked at. Because that's embarrassing.
Yeah.
Because you're going to have like 30, 40, 50 coins.
You need a lot of coins.
A lot. Yeah, so that's embarrassing. And Hawaii milk is $7 fucking. $1 is nothing. Can't even get milk.
It's 1/7 of a gallon of milk.
Crazy.
1/7. And a dime used to buy you a gallon of milk.
That's silly.
Is it?
That's so silly. I mean, shit, it comes from the cows. Like, again, doesn't really belong to anyone except for the person that claims it's their cow.
Yeah, they squeezed it out.
Yeah, and then
I squeezed this fucking
it.
milk out. Give me way more money than it used to be.
I took the milk from titties. I didn't know that boy cows were called bulls. I didn't know there was no such thing as a boy cow, that it's a bull.
Okay.
But it makes sense because only girls can give milk, so only
So the
girls
cow,
have
a cow is a
udders.
female. Cow
Yeah.
implies female.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
and yeah, you just like keeping this cow pregnant so you can squeeze the milk out of its titties to then sell it to people at insane prices.
Yeah. And it's not even good for you. It's a mutation to drink it. Yeah.
You have to have a mutation in your genetic
Yeah.
makeup.
Lactose intolerant people are normal. Everyone else is a mutation.
And they're white, probably.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, probably. Exactly.
Yeah, that shit is insane. It's like, what? It has become so fucking insanely hard to make something with this life.
Yeah. Yeah.
With where the economy is, what the average job pays, how much you need. Like I recently heard that only 2 to 4% of people from 20 to like 45 make 100K. 2 to 4%, and so many fucking girls are like hitching their shit to like, oh, I'll get with someone with 6 figures. Like, baby girl, you're talking about 2 to 4%.
That's crazy.
Of
Thankfully, I am not one of them. I mean, I would love to marry a man with money.
Yeah, and 6 figures isn't even like crazy.
And that's
It's
not
like,
even, yeah.
Yeah, that's like a comfortable
Yeah.
life. Like we can have 2 vacations a year.
That's sustainable.
And 3
Yeah.
kids.
Yeah. But I put a lot of pressure on myself to make a lot of money. I do. Because, I don't know. I just kind of work that way. I'm like, I am working to make money for me without thinking that there's going to be secondary income or that I'm going to be the secondary income, like whatever.
Yeah.
Because, yeah, nobody can afford to live. Every guy my age is at home.
Is that right?
Yeah. A lot of them. Yeah, my age, yeah.
20.
Yeah. If I want
21.
or living at school.
Living at school or at home. People, they
No
don't.
one's moved out.
And you could, but once you work the fucking math out,
Or they live with other people.
other people,
Yeah.
yeah, you would have to do that.
We'll
But
start doing
it just
that.
doesn't make any fucking sense to live on your own if you have parents that are willing, because you're minusing fucking 50, 60% of all of
So
your fucking
much.
money.
More. Well, for me, it'd be more.
More than, well, how much would you be paying?
It
Like
would
1,000?
be... Well, it depends. If I'm living by myself, it's probably going to be close to $2,000 a month.
And that's how much, what percentage of all of your money is that you make at the end of the month?
90, 80. All of it. That's why I'm saying it's impossible. It's impossible. So if I want like a man and I want to move out with a guy, I will look 23, 24, 25-year-olds because no one's moved out right now.
If you decide to go and live with some other people,
Yeah.
or whatever, it's
Yeah.
people like 23 is now when kids launch.
Yeah, rather than after high school, 18, 19, 20. Yeah, it's like 23, 22, 23, 24.
That's wild.
It's too hard. I mean, I don't have health care at my job. I get paid shit. And so I go and pay $300 to get poked 4 fucking times. And that's cheap. That's considered cheap for lab work. We paid out of pocket $300 just to get lab work done. Something that I need for my health and well-being to live. It's my job won't give that to me. I'm on my own. It's impossible. Don't get in a car accident. Don't break a bone. You're fucked.
Or get really sick.
You're in debt for the rest of your life. Yeah, don't do it. You'd rather kill yourself at that point.
Kill yourself.
And people do. People do. That's their goal, though.
Break your leg is like, kill yourself. You broke your leg, just kill yourself.
Might as well. Not even worth it.
And all of
it's not even worth it. You're going to be working your debt off for the rest of your life, and then it's going to fall onto your children. And
yeah, they're going to start moving debt like that. That's going to be like a thing.
I thought they were already doing that.
I know that they've tried. I don't know. Like, I think if they
so
did, then my dad
sad.
dying, I should definitely probably be in fucking debt from that.
Yeah.
Because he fucked over
so then
so many people.
In reality, why don't you just take out as many credit cards as you want, get into as much debt as possible, and then just die?
You just have to time it right.
Yeah.
It's very important that you time that right. Because, like...
it's like sinning up until right before you die.
Right, exactly.
Repenting right before you die.
Because if you do that shit and you still live another 20 or 30 years, the IRS is going to start to garnish all of your wages.
Yeah.
Right, and your taxes, and they're
take
just
away your house.
They're just going to take everything. So it's like, do it, but like, make sure that the tax man's like coming after you like right at death.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which is hard.
Yeah.
Like that would be very hard. Like, you basically can't do that.
Yeah. It would be timing it right.
Yeah.
That's so sad that people like kill themselves because the government wants us. I can't say that. But, you know, the government wants us to be sad and struggle to make ends meet.
Yeah.
And so, especially men, that's like a huge reason for men being suicidal.
It's tough because we feel like it's on us to situate something that's going to allow us to like have a family. And it's deeply embedded in us to have families. And now there's so many men that don't even really have the option to be able to situate themselves into a place to be able to provide for a family. And I feel like that's psychologically breaking people.
Yeah.
Like big time.
And it would be so different if we had any sense of community here.
Yeah.
We would be raising each other's kids.
Yeah.
And we'd be helping each other out. We'd be cooking dinner for each other. Like, fuck this place. Fuck America.
So, like, shattered and shit. I remember growing up in, like, low-income apartments and shit. And it was just, like, I'd be lucky if I got a birthday cake. For real. There's one birthday, my mom, like, she barely put together the money. And it was like this fucked up, like brown, like cake that she like baked, like, cause she had to work all day that day too. And we didn't have any money. It's like, we're living on an island and my mom could speak broken English and there was no help. It's like, it's not the way.
Yeah.
It's really bad.
Yeah.
There has to be like, but how would you start like to implement community? Like, that's something that
everyone needs to stop being so absorbed in themselves. And a huge part of it is white people. White people are narcissistic and selfish as fuck. Like, there's no even sugarcoating that. Like, okay, it's true though. It's true because me and my sister were having a conversation about this because I was all like telling her what I mentioned earlier about how I could have all these successes and money, but if I don't have someone, it means nothing. And she's like, what if you had community? I was like, I would probably feel that way a lot, not as much, but that's kind of the idea, is that you would have community, because she was kind of thinking romantically, if I have to have someone romantically, but I'm like, no, it's a community that is almost just as
that
good.
Would fill that kind of emptiness enough.
Yes, enough. Exactly. And so you go to the islands, Polynesians, family, community, Mexicans, family, community, everywhere, Filipinos, family, community, everywhere but white people. White people, well, everywhere there's abuse, but white people abuse them instead of commuting or being community. But yeah, it's a very Western European thing.
The people just live in kind of isolation.
It's because we're very sexual. So we just want one thing from people. We don't value genuine connections with people. And yeah, there's no sense of community. It's just sex and fucking.
The way we build society is like the fucking neighbors. It's like, oh, hey, I don't know what's his fucking name. Just fucking this guy over here. I don't know.
Exactly.
I'll drive by. He'll do that.
Hawaii with the Polynesians. Oh, hey. Oh, they're bringing us a pig head for dinner. Thanks. Let's all share it. And then they eat from the pig head. The same pig head.
They're scooping out the fucking pig head.
Nope. No utensils. Just hands. They just grab at it. Yeah, I didn't touch that shit. That's nasty. The man.
That's your white half.
Yeah.
Your white half coming out.
I was like,
I'm not doing that.
I don't eat meat, actually.
Yeah.
But it's completely different, and it's true.
It's too late for us.
Yeah.
There is no fucking a movie's gonna come out or something that's gonna be like, oh hey, let's all love each other.
Be a neighbor.
Right. Let's be a neighbor to one another and take care of
everyone's
people.
Too competitive with each other.
Yeah.
I mean, everyone, politics that get into it, and
oh yeah, that's fucking shattered society.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And so we all just hate each other. We're all enemies.
Yeah, we are enemies.
And it's sad.
Yeah. On that note, that's the end of the podcast.
Great way to end.
Yeah, thanks. Yeah. Get vaccinated and shit.
Yeah.
Joe Biden's smart.
Fuck yeah.